Hello, I'm Brian Voss, President of the Milwaukee School of Engineering chapter of Young Americans for Liberty. Today, I wanted to briefly talk about the Department of Education and advocate for a pro-liberty alternative to their current mandate and practices. It was recently inspired by an interview I heard from Larry Sharpe, great guy, check him out, and I felt I had a bit of pathos that could contribute to the issue. I'm originally from Racine, Wisconsin. A number of years ago, Wisconsin had a series of recall elections for a number of public officials. I was friends with one of these politicians, and so I decided to attend a debate he was having with his opponent. Ahead of time, I did some research on his opponent and learned that he'd spent many years working for the Racine Unified School District. I myself had recently done some research on the Wisconsin school districts for a class, and so I had a bit of knowledge going in. After the debate, I walked up to him, shook his hand, introduced myself, and asked about his years working for the Racine School District. Seemed to indicate that he was pretty proud of his years there, and so I asked him what he felt would be the best approach to improving the school district, given that it was the second worst in the state. He immediately became very defensive and said that there was really no proof from that. I told him to check graduation rates, test scores, etc. He hid behind bluster, and I walked away very frustrated. Seemed like he didn't really want to admit that the school district wasn't doing well, or he just didn't care, or he was just in denial. I don't know what, but it upset me because I had a lot of friends in that school district. And so from then on, the issues of subpar education really tend to irk me. This is literally our future that we're talking about, and it's literally failing. The Department of Education has been around for about 150 years. It's been active on the federal level since 1980, and since then children in schools have been consistently doing worse and worse by pretty much any metric you want to choose. Graduation rate, test scores, starting salary, whatever. And we just keep putting money into it. And that's a problem. So with all respect to Representative Massey, don't eliminate the Department of Education. Make it make its own money. The schools can buy from who they want to. The Department of Education can keep its standards, but don't let them regulate it. You can have standards without regulation. People can write their own education standards. Schools can decide whose standards they want to follow. Parents can weigh in on a given set of standards, and school boards can decide on them. Education isn't one size fits all, and neither should the standards that dictate it. Let's decentralize the Department of Education, because decentralization creates specialization, and that's really the important point here. Ideal education varies from region to region. It varies from urban to rural. I've experienced that firsthand. Let them choose the right standards for themselves. That's competition. That's free market. For example, the post office used to be centralized. And then competition arrived in the form of UPS and FedEx. And then suddenly, the post office's role changed. It now just handles bulk mail, in the majority. It was centralized. Competition caused decentralization. Decentralization caused specialization. And now the post office makes its own money. I feel that there's a very similar solution for our education issue. It's one of the most important things. It's ensuring our future. People and entities that can't seem to see that their ways just aren't working, that's no way to move forward. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.